It's kind of a gray day outside and I'm feeling a little bit blah. So I thought I would sit down and do my makeup, and really I wanted to share with you guys some of my favorite products of the year so far. So these are all products that I have tried in 2024. Most of them are new releases, some of them are just new to me. So if you guys like makeup, beauty, new releases, definitely give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and let's go ahead and unblah this face. So let's go ahead and moisturize these dry lips. One of my favorite discoveries so far this year has been this vegan collagen complex lip balm from Pacifica. It is ultra nourishing on the lips. You get a lot of product, and Pacifica is available at Ulta and Target. I think they have a couple different shades or versions of this. I personally have the vegan collagen one, which comes in the pink packaging, as you can see, and it has a little bit of a purpley berry tint to it, but it looks pretty clear on the lips and it gives a nice shine. It's very thick and It's very thick and nourishing, so I really like it. I don't think I've tried out any new primers this year, but I did want to revisit an old favorite. This is the Neutrogena Radiance Setting Spray. The mist is super fine, and I feel like not enough people talk about this spray because it really just helps to add a bit of moisture. So I love it before makeup especially. It doesn't really prolong the wear of your makeup, but it does help to like rehydrate the skin. And then I'm just going to go in with a little bit of my daily moisturizer. This is my Olay peptide, collagen peptide moisturizer, fragrance free. I talked about this in my best drugstore skincare video. I can link it down below if you want to check it out. It's just a really great like no frills moisturizer. Oh, my skin is so dry. Alright, when it comes to base products, my favorite product that has launched this year so far is the CoverGirl Simply Ageless Skin Perfector Essence. The little beady one, you know what I'm talking about. I really love this. It looks super lightweight. It feels kind of like, hey, no. It's very watery, it's very lightweight, and it feels super natural on the skin, and it looks super natural. This one, however, is a little bit light for me right now. It looks darker in the container, but when you actually apply to the skin, it's a little bit too light. So I am going to use another favorite. I have tried this year. It is the I Am Magic Natural Radiance Foundation from Juvias Place. I have mine in the shade Cairo. I don't believe this launched this year. No, I'm pretty sure it didn't launch this year. Maybe last year or the year before, but I personally have just recently tried it. Comes in this little like squeezy tube with a pump. This foundation is super duper full coverage, but if you use just a little bit, it doesn't feel like heavy on the skin. Like you can see, it spreads so far. The only thing that I don't love about it is that it smells like cough syrup, like intense artificial cherries, which I wish they wouldn't have added that scent, but it doesn't linger on my skin like all day long, so I look past it because the finish on the skin is really nice and it does give really great coverage. So I'm just gonna spread it around my skin. I've been liking to apply my foundations with my skin first. With my skin. Ooh, it's one of those days. I've been liking to spread my foundation around with my fingers first, just to evenly distribute it to ensure I don't get too much product. And I feel like it helps to work the product into my skin, so it's not like sitting on top. It is a very strong fragrance though. Woo! If you don't mind fragrance, and you want something that is very high coverage, but that's not super matte on the skin, I would recommend this foundation because it is very beautiful. And it does wear very nicely as well. And then once I spread it around with my fingers, I do like to go in with a brush and just really press it in. I am gonna go back in with a little bit of my Neutrogena spray. Just because, again, my skin is super dry right now. And this is a trick I like to do when my foundation just needs a little bit help like spreading out, just because my skin's so dry that it like sucks up all the moisture in the foundation immediately. Or if you have a really quick drying foundation, this is a good way to rehydrate it so you can get a little bit more spreadability out of it. The shade might be a little bit dark for me at the moment, but that's fine. We'll lighten up with concealer. It'll work out. Maybe I should have gone in with CoverGirl. I guess I'm not as tan as I thought I was. Oh well. 2 concealer formulas I've tried this year that I love. One is definitely new to this year. Words are escaping me today. L'Oreal True Match Serum Concealer. This launched this year. It is amazing. It's so thin, but still gives you good medium coverage. Doesn't crease really at all under my eyes. And you don't have to set it if you have very dry skin. Another one that I've really been loving that didn't launch this year, but that I tried this year personally is the Joah Perfect Complexion Eye Serum Concealer. This is gorgeous. It gives you, again, probably like a good medium coverage. I'm going to take it down the center of my face just because that foundation was a bit light or dark. It looks crazy now, but trust me, it'll come together. I don't know, this one just looks really smoothing under the eyes. The L'Oreal one does as well. That's one of the main things I look for with concealer. I don't want it to excessively crease, and I want it to help to sort of smooth out my under eye area because I do have a bit of hollowness under there. I have rather deep set eyes, so I feel like this just helps to sort of smooth that area without having to use a bunch of powder. And because I have dry skin, I don't personally like using a bunch of powder. I feel like I heard a bit of buzz about this a year or so ago on TikTok, but it sort of died off and no one really talks about it anymore, but it is a really great formula and I'm really impressed by it. It just looks so flawless. Like, it looks beautiful, brightening, smooth, not dry, not ultra glowy to where it's emphasizing texture or feeling greasy or heavy. It's so good, it's so beautiful. I have been loving this bronzer. It's one of the only bronzers I've been wearing exclusively. It is the NYX Buttermelt bronzer. I don't know if NYX was trying to dupe like Physicians Formula with the butter bronzer because it literally smells like coconut, which it's just delicious. It smells like a buttery, almost like a chocolatey coconut or something. It's like summer in a bronzer. The reason why I love this is because, one, it is not a flat matte powder. It has a little bit of a sheen to it, but it's not glittery. It has a little bit more of a neutral leaning rosy undertone. So I find that it just works really well for mimicking like a sunburn or a suntan, because when I go in the sun, my skin gets a little bit more red from the sun when it gets burnt especially, and sometimes I like to fake that I've been getting more vitamin D than I actually have. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's very pigmented, so be careful, but it blends out so easily. I love the smell, I love the formula, I love the tone. It's just gorgeous. I like to take some across my nose as well. And sometimes I like to do like a little circle to fake like I have a little button nose. There we go. I've been out in the sun. This is such a great formula, so beautiful. I actually saw that NYX was coming out with Buttermelt blushes, and if the formula is anything like this, you know I'm here for it. Speaking of blush, I have 2 formulas that launched this year that I love. The e.l.f. Camo liquid blushes are really amazing, very pigmented, blendable, but they stay in place really, really well. And they have more of a natural finish. They are not glowy, but they have like a slight little bit of luminescence, not glittery, but not flat matte. So I really, really love these. And I especially love this shade Coral Crush. It is the most gorgeous, bright coral. It looks super vibrant and like scary, but I'm telling you, once you blend it out, it just gives you the most like gorgeous, healthy, awake, youthful looking tint to the cheeks. I applied way too much, but you can see how pigmented it is. I'm telling you, when you sheer it out, it almost looks neon, but in a very subtle way. If you just use a little bit, I'm telling you, it really just adds like life to the skin if you're anywhere near my complexion. The other shade I have is Dusty Rose. I really like this one too. It's just more muted, and I would say more of like my everyday shade if I don't want my blush to be the statement. It says Dusty Rose, but it's not super like pink. I would say it's more of a nude color, so that's why I like it for every day. Or if I'm doing something a bit more glam on the eyes, I will reach for this one just because it doesn't compete with a very dramatic eye look. But the other formula that I wanted to show some love to are these lip and cheek balms from ColourPop. So these are a new formula from ColourPop. They launched with their Valentine's Day collection this year. They've had cream blushes in the past, but this is a different formula, and I really like these. I don't love them on the lips as much, but on the cheeks they are gorgeous. From what I gather, I haven't tried the original formula that ColourPop had with their cream blushes, but from what I gather, these ones are more pigmented. But even though they are pretty pigmented, you can sheer them out, you can blend them, and you can see here I am applying it on top of that powder bronzer, and there's no patchiness or lifting. They wear really well throughout the day, even though they are a cream. So I've really been enjoying them. I wish there was more colors. I think the 3 shades they launched were all pink, probably due to the fact that it launched around Valentine's Day. But I hope that ColourPop launches more of these in the future because the formula is really good. It gives you a little bit of that dewy, balmy glow to the cheeks without feeling sticky or greasy. And it does have really great longevity. The finish reminds me a little bit of the Tower 28 blushes, but a little bit less greasy than that, and it lasts way longer. So I actually prefer these to the Tower 28 formula, and I feel like nobody talks about them, but they're so good. And the packaging is so cute. Look at his little heart, it's so cute. Okay, my favorite highlighter of the year so far, it was between this and the Charlotte Tilbury Face Architect highlighters. I really do love those, but they're so expensive, and if I had to pick, I feel like the Moira are really good for being so much cheaper. Like, yes, the Charlotte Tilbury might be a smidge better formula-wise, but I don't know if they're worth it when you can get something that's really beautiful as well, that's so much more affordable. These are the Dreamlight highlighters from Moira. I have the shade Reckless Love. These are a baked formula, so you can see, I forgot how. I mean, I didn't forget, I knew how pigmented, but like, if you don't like a blinding highlight, you will not like this. But if you are like me and you like to glow, honey, these will make you glow. I mean, I am applying it over that cream blush, so that is giving it a little bit extra oomph because it has something to stick to. But these are so smooth on the cheeks, even though they're intense, they still melt into the skin and look glassy. They don't look metallic. It doesn't look like you have eyeshadow on your face. They're really beautiful. I'm a fan. Big fan. Okay, so I just primed my eyes with my Juvia's Place Eye Prep Eye Primer. I have the shade 1. I have really been loving this as well. It's not a new product, but it's new to me this year, and I find that it's a really great base for eyeshadows to stick to, but also easy to blend on top of. The only thing is you have to shake it up before you use it because it does tend to separate. But other than that, it's a really great eye primer. My favorite eyeshadow palette of the year, is anyone surprised? This launched late 2023, but again, I personally tried it in January, I think it was. Maybe I tried it in December. No, I think I tried it in early this year, like in January, because I got this for Christmas. And I love it. It is a beautiful palette. It's colorful, but still wearable. The mattes are very pigmented, easy to blend. It goes from really light to really dark, and the shimmers are just fantastic. I really love it. Actually, first, let me do my lips because I always feel weird without my lips on. If you've been watching my videos, you know the Lip Appeal Waterproof Lip Liners from Moira, especially this one in Discreet, is my go-to. These are really creamy, but they lock down, which I personally really like in a lip liner. I love a more long-wearing formula because my lips are small. I just prefer when my lips have a little bit more definition to balance out my eyes because I have a larger forehead and large eyes, but my lips are more small, so I like to make sure that these are defined or else it just gets lost. But if you don't like something as deep as this, I also have After Party, which is a beautiful like lighter nude, You can see it there. There's After Party. So Discreet is right here, the deeper, and then After Party is here. And then for lipstick, I really like these ones from Makeup Revolution. The packaging is so cute and luxe. And I personally have this really pretty deep rosy color called Wifey Dusky Pink. These are really creamy, but they are a matte formula without being drying on the lips. Alright, so for the eyes, I do want to do something wearable, but still like glam. Before we go into the colors, I am going to take a bit of my bronzer, the Buttermelt bronzer, and just pop that into the crease. Alright, to keep things simple, I think I'm actually just going to do like a little navy wing and then pop True Essence all over the lid, which is like a gorgeous silvery light blue. I think that could be cute. So let's start with Edge of Night. And I'm just going to start stamping that really close to my lashes. And I don't want to wing it out too far, just a little bit. Nothing crazy. I'm taking this really tiny brush from Morphe. It's their M250. I really like this for wings and precision. And then sometimes to just sharpen out the edge, I just take my finger, like my nail, and just sort of like blend it up because it helps to get like a sharp line. Cool, and I don't want to take the wing really too far in. Kind of want to just keep it on like this outer third here. Something like that. And then just for the star of the show, we'll do the True Essence. I did put a little bit of my NYX glitter glue on just to prevent any fallout if possible, because this is a pretty crumbly shade. I don't know if you can see. It's pretty like not chunky, but just more crumbly, so it can be a bit messy, but it is very gorgeous. It's got like pink, purple, silver, blue reflex. It's a really icy blue. Ooh, look at that. Oh, the shimmers in this palette are spectacular. The shimmers in this palette are what keep me coming back for more. Because this is a very piecey shadow, sometimes I like to like press it onto my hand first, just to sort of like really smooth it out, because it almost feels like a cream in the pan. Like it's really piecey and creamy at the same time. I don't really think I've ever tried a formula quite like it. And I like how simple this is because it lets that blue shade really have its moment to shine. Like it's colorful, but still wearable. So pretty. All right, I'm gonna quickly curl my lashes, pop on some mascara, and I think I am gonna pop on these Allure 3/4 length lashes, which have been my favorite go-to lash this year. They are super lightweight, natural, but they still add a bit of definition and lift to the outer corner, which I love. So these are amazing, and you can rewear them like multiple times, and they're only like 10 bucks for this whole 4-pack, so really great steal. So I'll do that, and then we'll be back to finish up the eyebrows and see the final look. Alright, so let's go ahead and finish up the look. I want to set my brows. I just filled in my brows with my Maybelline Ultra Slim Brow Pencil, which has been my favorite for years at this point. But a recent discovery that launched this year is the CoverGirl Brow Enhancer Gel Wax. This is very, very thick and heavy duty. It reminds me a little bit of the NYX Brow Glue, but I find that this holds the brows better than the NYX one does. So if you like a very thick and like glue-like brow gel like the NYX one, I think you would like this even more because it's even more intense. Like, you can shellac your brows to your face with this. The brush is super, super tiny as well, so it's really easy to control. I actually really like the brush. And you can like feel it drying down in your brows. Okay, and then last but not least, I do want a bit of a gloss. So I really, really love the AF94 Give 'Em Lip High Shine Lip Gloss. I have the clear one in Do You See It? This is an ultra, ultra shiny, non-sticky gloss. Like, look at that shine. Can you see that? Like, it's so shiny and glass-like, but not sticky. And I don't think these launched this year, but I've just been wearing it so much and I wanted to give it some love because it's really underrated. Alright guys, so this is the finished look. I really love how the look turned out and I love all the products that I used, of course. What are your favorite products that you've been using this year or that have launched this year? Would love to hear your guys' thoughts, recommendations. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you guys in my next one. Bye!